Right, so we do see BYOB versus FroG in the second game. We will be looking at the splits, and the match will be starting right about now, and we'll see how these teams come out, see if they go more offensive, if they're going to go for the far points over here for red and the far point over here for blue. We're going to be looking at blue just as they're coming through here. We're going to see, looks like Grotch going down over to the quarry, going to try and bunker there. Arco fan moving in on Kashmir on the mid. See Popka just popping back over to the quarry, as I think they've just been alerted indeed that two guys from FroG have actually nipped back over there. So Alice Lost very much going to try and range on the point. Free cast. Bar doing a good job at actually trying to apply some pressure, so Alice Lost isn't able to do that, as you do not want a Necro doing that at range, especially with the Scepter and the Staff combo with the daggers. You can just range all day and just get all those conditions off. See the Ranger's going to try and move in on the point as well, trying to get as much support on the team with his spirits as much as possible. We do see Alice Lost actually got Torment off there as well, so was able to get a nice lot of AoE down. Edenar just over on the waterfall point at the moment, using that Shadow Refuge to avoid the damage from Draz, just trying to heal up, reset himself and get back into that fight. Just going to nip back over to Quarry. So we do see Bullet Tooth Joe just being rizzed there by the oh my god, I've just said it. Anyway, just bear with me a second, as he was indeed rezzed in Shadow Refuge. I literally just said it. I just lost my mind for a second. Absolutely insane. Grotchaton now going down to about 40% health as he's trying to hold on the point. Popka's got a lot of damage on him at the moment. Still got those signets up to pop if he needs to. But doesn't need to at the moment. Probably going to pop off a little bit of that short bow AoE damage to try and get some vulnerability. Maybe, potentially, not sure if he's going to. He's got 5 stacks of Torment on him as well from the Warrior. But Bullet-Tooth Joe is trying as much as he can to try and not go down here, as he got about 20% HP, getting that big stun AoE off on Grotchaton and Carol there. So they're very much bunkering on this point at the moment. The HP isn't too long. Bullet-Tooth Joe needs to get some damage down, but he did get damage there. Grotchaton going for the down. Is he able to get some rezzing off? Popka not able to. He needs to bail off that point as fast as he possibly can, unless he wants to get nailed. But he's holding 2 people up now. Kashmir is now on about 10% HP, taken down by Lust. Oh, sorry, not taken down by Lust, taken down by Bar. Alice Lost trying to get the res on him as soon as he can. Did get interrupted, able to get that res off. And a very, very nice job there from Alice Lost, getting the res off. Bar probably a better job to try and get some damage onto Alice there. Kashmir's going to try and rotate out a little tiny bit to come back in. Don't know why it went so far away there, unfortunately, because if this is a one-on-one fight, Grotch is now moved in as well, so he's going to be giving some support to his friend there. Alice Lust getting into Destro, getting low again, going to be trying to pop as much damage off as he possibly can. Alice Lust being joined there by Popka, and Bar did get down there by Popka. Some nice burst now. We will see Alice Lust rotate out at the point, and Popka try and bunker on a little bit, but not the best person to rotate in. But Bullet-Tooth Joe is coming in now. He's going to be trying to bunker that point as much as possible. We did see Drazzy go down over a waterfall. Kashmir trying to bunker that point. That was a nice rotate out as well, because it is 2 people over here, so he was the best person to move over. So the fight over in the mid needs to be resolved as soon as possible, so someone can go and help over at waterfall. Bullet-Tooth Joe pulling off a nice little bit of AoE damage there with the longbow. They're moving in for that attack with the hammer. With the hammer move there, and on the F1 ability. Sorry, just watching Arco fan take out Kashmir over here. Looks like Blue have very much got the 2 cap over BYOB at the moment, as mid is contested, but Waterfall and Quarry are very much in the control of Blue, and it does look like they're going to be stretching this lead even more. 25 points now, 76 points to 51. Looks like we will be, hopefully, seeing some awesomeness. Just watching Draz run away there as Adar and Arcofan take chase to the midpoint. Bullet-Tooth Joe trying to get Popka up as soon as possible. Grotchaton now supporting on the point with Kyle, who will be doing most of the damage, unless we see Idaho coming in now, and Bar as well. 4-on-1 on the midpoint. They wanted Bullet-Tooth Joe down apparently very, very fast. Kashmir now coming into the point as well with Drazzy. Not getting these rotations very, very good at the moment. Red, they're trying to keep this point contested. They did move over to Quarry and get it. They need to try and bunker on that point if at all possible, and try and keep it for as long as they can. So if they get any kills from Blue over here, they will be actually probably running to that close point as soon as possible. So they need to be aware of that. When they kill someone from red, they need to send someone back to make sure no one's going to be able to cap that. But it looks like Kyle War is actually moving back over to the quarry now with Popka and Alice Lust on his tail. Does look like the Ranger from blue is also in the background there, but he's not going to be nipping down quite yet. Kashmir and Draz now on Grochton. He doesn't want to leave Grochton there, so Bayern needs to be back on that point supporting. He has got his Spirit of Nature up as well, so he's got that res back up. Just going to make sure that he has actually not used it. Has indeed used that. I can increase my mini-maps, no worries. There you go. So on the midpoint at the moment, we do see a lot of team fight going down. It is very much contested. We haven't seen it capped yet in this match. The midpoint in this map is extremely difficult to try and cap, because sometimes you're actually out of range of some abilities and it is a big point to cap, and you need to get someone needs to interrupt Grochton as he's getting off that 12 stack of might there and a big heal. But we do see just there Edo is popping up a lot of AoE with that short bar. Alice Lost going down quite heavily here on in Plague, and she does go down on the point, but a nice Shadow Refuge came out in a very, very fast res there as she got res there. That was such a good res. There was hardly any damage coming as well. They haven't got much damage blue at the moment in the mid. Grochton is now staying solid there. They do see blue that red's starting to slowly crawl their way back, so they've actually nipped over to Waterfall to try and make sure they actually keep that Popka. Is he going to be able to get he is able to get the decap, so red will be able to potentially get some points back now, as they're trying to keep the quarry. They need to send someone else over to quarry at the moment, as Kyle War is actually doing a smashing job against Bulletproof Joe. He's on about 10% HP, needs to try and get someone over here to support him as soon as possible. He's still got his elite. Is he going to pop it? Is he going to be able to pop that? He needs to pop it now to try and stay alive, getting that regen and also that crit and that stability. So he's not going to be able to get any CC on him now. We do see Draz is actually come in, but Kyle was able to get a nice little bit of burst. Oh, nice stun there. And Bulletproof Joe is now going to get the res and switch into the favour of BYOB, as we see a 2 versus 1 now on the quarry. And Kyle War is now running for his life. Will he be able to get away? Not sure this is going to be the best for him. Draz needs to try and chase him as well. Try and get him down, get an extra 5 points, which would be very, very nice as they push into the mid and try and get some momentum going on this midpoint fight. Maybe they can take it. Not sure, but he's doing such a fantastic job on getting away. Alice Lost actually went down there. So now, Kyle was actually came back into the point, actually fully on pretty much half HP, and now getting supported by a team, and Bulletproof Joe just going down there on the fight. So he did an extremely good job at moving back to beat. Now Kashmir needs to try and hold this point contested for as long as he can. Drazir is still hovering around on the midpoint, just watching to make sure that no one is coming over there. So Arco Vander now 1 versus Popka. Red getting the only points of the game now, as we do see them 60 points behind blue. So we've got 155 to red, 215 to blue. At the moment, it does look like FroG will be taking this game as we move into the halfway point of this match. Alice Lust now coming in with Popka to try and take down Otko Fan, but Kyle Warrior and Grochton are moving over to the waterfall, so there's a lot of support for these guys now, and this team fight is not looking good for Alice Lost and for Popka. Just going to move into Popka now. He's not got a lot of cooldowns, needs to pop that so he can get all those boons off and try and get out of there as fast as he can, because he's not going to do much good, unfortunately, there. Alice Lost now probably going to go down as well, needs to try and think about moving out to try and save himself rather than actually dying, and it's doing such a good job of surviving for such a condition-based spec as well. Those runes seem to be doing well for the swiftness for getting around the map as well. And Popka indeed going down there, as we do see it's a 3 versus 1 fight from FroG, and solidifying that needs to start moving out on the point. Kashmir was able to get in there, didn't see him pop through that. I don't think War or Kyle did either, so Kashmir now on about half HP will probably, this is not looking good against Warrior, to be honest. Needs to probably be in the team fight in the mid. Strazir is actually having a bit of trouble against 3 members from FroG, just pushing him out of the point, and someone needs to try and rotate in as soon as possible. Bulletproof Joe is against Edar over on the quarry point at the moment. Looks like he's going to be backed up by Popka as soon as possible, which is good for him. They need some backup on that point. So it does look like Waterfall is very much still in contention. Kashmir going down to about 30% HP, but Alice Lost is coming in now to get some damage down on Arcofan. Unfortunately, Kashmir is not going to be able to get any damage. It's just going to be bunkering that point forever. But is now going to be able to get all the all the damage they want on down on Arcofan. But do you see Grotch is now coming in, so they are going to indeed balance this fight off. And this fight is very, very close at the moment. 280 points to Blue, who is FroG. 220 points to BYOB. At the moment, FroG is holding a 1-game lead over BYOB. So BYOB need to try and pick it up and get back into this match as soon as possible. But 60 points is by no means of anything over yet. See Drazzy now moving over to the midpoint. Barnum is actually on the midpoint at the moment, bunkering over there. Grotcheton now over here with Arcofan. Arcofan, is he going to be able to get the res off on him? He's not going to be able to. So Grotcheton is actually alone on this point at the moment against 2 of the red team. He's on against 3 of the red team. Very, very nice backup there from... I think that was Popka just coming in there, the rogue. Yes, the thief. Ida is now coming in as well, trying to balance it up, but Grotch did indeed go down. It wasn't able to get there in time. Did get Shadow Refuge down, so needs to get some cleave damage off as much as possible. He's going to get the res. I think he's going to get this res, guys. It's very close. It's about 70% HP. He just keeps... did manage to get him down there. 3 members of the team now just holding this point. Arcofan's here, and also the other thief is here as well. I'm not sure Red are aware of this. Popka comes back in. Kashmir probably needs to try and stay or come back to actually make sure they get this point, because at the moment they're not, and they're actually getting a couple of points away here on kills. But let's see if Joe now trying to keep Barnum outside of the point, trying to get all those caps off as much as he can. Drazzy now 1 versus Kyle War. Alice Lust going down over at the waterfall point. Kashmir needs to try and potentially move back to that point, but did indeed get the res, which was a very, very, very good job. I think that was Popka who came back in there with Kashmir as well. So we got a 3-on-2 fight, 3-4 red team at the moment versus 2 of FroG. Will they be able to catch up? 50 points now. They did get the decap, so red indeed have got the points coming in, and FroG do not. So it looks like a very, very good job here. Someone needs to stay on that point. Kashmir doing a very good job on doing that. Alice Loss probably needs to try and get back to the actual point as fast as possible, but Edar just going down there. Will Popka be able to get him down? I'm not sure. Just getting the cleave damage. He's going to go down, I'm pretty sure. Grotcheton now trying to get back on the point. This is what happens if you get off the point. Is weighing it up between keeping the point caps or trying to res your teammates. So basically needs to actually try and get back up to the mid. Arco now trying to get back to the mid as well to get some support for his team, but not sure why Bullet-Tooth Joe just ran off the point. Maybe I think that was a rotate out. A little tiny bit of a mistake, because it could have got some actual caps on there. But maybe was trying to head over Zakori to make sure they kept that. But it looks like Kyle War did take Draz down over on that point. And listen, us now 1 versus Grotcheton. But we will see the support from Idar coming back onto that point as well. But I think he's going to leave just to say that he can keep that point contested. But Blue now have solidified the quarry waypoint over here, as we see Kaya War starting to move towards that gate as they hit 350 points, almost 2 points under. So we'll see them potentially going for a Lord Kill plan, or is it might be a slight ploy to actually try and get them to come back to their boss and maybe try and get the rest of the map capped and to make their life easier. Grotcheton versus Alice Lost, potentially knowing that this fight isn't going to last very much longer as Arcofan comes in there to try and get as much damage on him as possible. Kashmir and Bullet-Tooth Joe versus Bar and Ida in the mid at the moment. Bullet-Tooth Joe just missing that F1 ability from the hammer on both the guys there, and Bar does indeed have his nature spirit up as well, so he has got that res left. Just going to jump on him to make sure he's still got. I has actually used it recently, so he's not got that cooldown available, and it has actually gone down as well. So we see that popping up in the near future. Hasn't got any spirits as well, so now's the time for the damage focus to be on him. In terms of BYOB trying to get someone down on this point. It does look like Red have indeed switched it round, so now they do have Quarry, and Dresden wants to try and keep this point as much as possible now, as we do see the BYOB now pretty much equaling points, 350 to 350. Blue not getting anything at the moment. Need to try and pull these points in as soon as possible. Popka now on the midpoint against Scrotch, probably going to try and get a little bit damage and try and CC him as much as possible. Barnum as well, just trying to stay up. Maybe not going to be popping that heal anytime soon, as he's got some stability and some boons coming in. Doesn't need to pop that yet. Just popped it there on the point to try and get some extra healing in, while Grotchaton nips back over to the waterfall to try and support Arcofan. There's Bullet-Tooth Joe and Popka now. Oh, Arcofan getting a lot of damage down on him. Looks like, oh, that burst from Popka was so good. Grotchaton wasn't able to get there as fast enough, unfortunately. Looks like he's potentially going to go down here as well, unless he can't. Oh, he did get that Might Stack and that heal off there, so that was quite nice from him. Going to use that 6 heal as well, which does block. He doesn't want to use that as much. He's going to use that as a last resort, because otherwise he will lose cap points on this point. But probably going to use that tooth and that mace, try and put that down, get a bit of healing, a bit of damage off, and then he's going to nip into there, put the 3 down, get some swiftness, another bit of healing for himself, and some more damage down as well. So going to use that Empower, needs to get an interrupt. Did nice interrupt from Bullet-Tooth Joe there, interrupting that Empower as well, which is a good 20 seconds. Oh my good God. I was so into that match. Oh my Lord. Guys, I completely missed the time. Whew. I'm not even sure that anyone else on the whole map in the whole game was aware that the time actually ran down to 0. But BYOB managed to get 396 points to FroG's 353. So indeed, BYOB have equalled it up. And we see a 1-1 in this